Tonight was class number 19, the hook sweep from guard and the standing guillotine defense. This is my second time taking the class, so I don't have a lot to report, but what I will say is that in teaching, you learn twice. Let me explain what I mean. Tonight, I was working with a young man. I think his name was Josh. He is pretty new, no stripes. He said he trained before, but he took a long break and he's just recently back. And so a lot of things that we were working on, he didn't know. And I was helping to walk him through it, helping to coach him through it, helping to talk him through it. And of course, I have to be careful not to take the role of the teacher because I'm not a teacher, at least not a jiu-jitsu teacher here at Gracie University. Not yet. But I want to be careful that I don't overstep my role, but I also want to be able to help my training partner. So in helping Josh figure it out, grab the wrist, throw the arm over the shoulder, blah, 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 blah. In talking through it and kind of narrating it, it helped reinforce the steps for me, and it helped remind me of what to do when it was my turn. Does that make sense? And of course, when we did the whole sequence from the standing guillotine to side control to mount, cooperative rollover to punch block 141, right? You guys, if you speak the language, you know what it is. And then to the hook sweep, to the technical stand up or whatever, to side control. So that whole sequence was kind of how we ended the class, and it was great. And it's really helpful to drill and reiterate this stuff. I know I say that a lot, so I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to keep harping on the same thing. But it's a blessing to be able to come down and get your workout in and get your endorphins and your whatever, serotonin, whatever hormones released, because I'm just going to leave it at this. Life is hard. There are a lot of things going on, challenges people face with work, with school, with kids, with family, with immigration. I mean, you name it. There's all kinds of things going on in the world. And it's like, it's one of those things where you never know someone else's struggle. I don't know. I don't want to preach to anybody, but like I heard once, it might have been like a sales thing. It might have been like Zig Ziglar. I don't know, where he said, if you ever walk up to somebody in the street, you say, hey, I heard about your problem. Nobody ever says what problem. They always say something like, how did you know? Because everybody has a problem. Everybody's fighting a battle you know nothing about. So that's why we treat people with kindness. We treat people with empathy. But I've had a tough week personally. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to make this like a sob story kind of a thing. But coming to jiu-jitsu and turning off your brain for an hour and doing something with your body and hanging out with friends is such a blessing. So if you haven't trained this week, today, yesterday, tomorrow, if you're thinking about signing up, you have no idea how magical jiu-jitsu can be for mental health and for camaraderie, for friendship, for community. So I don't want to make this long-winded. You guys know the move. You've done the hook sweep before. I've talked about the hook sweep before. We've talked about guillotine, standing guillotine defense before. So there's not a whole lot to talk about here, but I will say that I enjoyed walking Josh through the steps because it reinforced things for me. I got to work on my rear takedown a bit, in the beginning class during the warm-up, so that was nice. And couple guys tonight, couple friends of mine have gotten their combatives belt in the last week or so. So that was nice and encouraging to see them making progress and making that goal. Not a whole lot to talk about in this video. So what I'll do is I'll ask you to please like and subscribe, and I will ask you to put in the comments or to hit me up on social media and tell me if you'd like me to tackle a subject or you'd like me to answer a question. Send me your questions, send me your topics, and I will see what I can do. But it's late, I'm tired, it's been a long day. I'm gonna go home and shower, and I will see you possibly tomorrow. Tomorrow's Master Cycle Fundamentals, and I enjoy that class, but it's a lot of time and it's a lot of effort, and I don't get credit for going. And I hate to feel that way, like, well, I'm not going to get credit, so I'm not going to show. But that's hard because it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, back and forth, up and down the freeway. I feel like I'd rather just come Saturday and get a check mark and get closer to the next stripe and get closer to completing this whole combatives thing. But I really enjoy Master Cycle Fundamentals, and I feel blessed that I have the permission to go. So who knows? You might see me back here in 24 hours. But that's all I got for you. So stay focused, stay positive, and stay vigilant. See you next time.